Leo, and welcome to my channel, Inspiring Life Changes. Welcome to those of you who have been here before, and welcome to those of you who are coming over for the first time to check it out and see what it's all about. My name is Colette. I am a tarot reader with over 30 years experience, and the reading that I'm doing today is for Leos who are Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp energy of Leo. And if you don't know where those placements are for yourselves, Leo, there will be a free natal link in the description box down below for you to go and check that out, because it then gives you the opportunity to get a bigger picture of what's going on astrologically day to day in your life, in the world. And also it gives you the chance to check out the corresponding readings for your moon sign, your rising sign and your Venus sign as well. Particularly Venus for when I do the love readings that I do. So the reading I'm doing today is a general reading for Leos. It's not going to resonate with all you Leos out there. Hopefully you will be able to take something from it. You may learn something from it. So I'm hoping that you'll stick around to the end, Leo. And also cross watchers, I'm really bad and I'm really sorry that I forget to mention cross watchers a lot of the time. But cross watchers, also be aware that the reading may actually be more your energy than the person that you are interested in or in a relationship with, or want to be in a relationship, have been in a relationship as well. So if there is a Leo in your general energy field, shall we say, then just be aware that if you're watching this reading could actually have your energetic imprint in it as well. So I'm starting the reading off today, Leo, with the first overall energy card that came out for you. Here is the 10 of stones, as it's called here, or the 10 of pentacles, 10 of coins, 10 of earth, depends which deck you use. And it's saying richness at the bottom as well. And when I was doing the meditation on the collective energy for Leos, I got this kind of to and fro energy, and the words should I or shouldn't I came through, almost like you're trying to decide something. Should you do something? Shouldn't you do something? Is it going to be for your benefit? Is it not going to be for your benefit? Was the energy that was coming up. There was this kind of like being in two minds, and I just want to say that at this time you are experiencing in Leo, you have Mars coming in, which is a very dynamic energy, like your own energy, Leo, very fiery, very dynamic, very forward, very doing, action orientated energy. But then you've also got Saturn in retrograde over in Aquarius, who is kind of squaring that energy now as well. So it's not totally squaring it, but it will be wherever your own planets fall within. If you've got, say, a few things in Leo, or a Sun obviously is in Leo, wherever it falls at this time, because Saturn's about 13 degrees I think, so anywhere between those kind of probably about 10, 9, 8 degrees up to about 17, 18 degrees of Saturn, Aquarius, and also of Leo as well, those same degrees in Leo. If you've got anything there, you are going to be feeling this kind of push-pull kind of energy as Mars moves further into your sign, and also like fires it up, because it's going to be a very kind of dynamic, like I was saying, this dynamic fired up energy, but at the same time Saturn is kind of restricting it and pulling it back. So that could be the energy that I was picking up on, this to and fro energy. But you do have, as I was saying, the 10 of stones, which is a energy of completion of something. Ten of Pentacles usually relates to success, having achieved, having got to the point of feeling that you have reached your goal, satisfaction in what you've done. And at the bottom of the deck, and I'm pointing this out in particular because this isn't the first and only time that this card appears in your reading as well. So there is an element here also of kind of something changing, something transforming, something coming possibly to an end here. A situation which could also involve this as well, because once you get to the 10, it's like you have to start all over again in a way. It's like you can stay in this 10 energy, but it's like you don't grow anymore. It's like you just stay in that kind of energy of I've reached my ultimate success. So there could also have something to do with that as well at this time, Leo, that you may be feeling, should I or shouldn't I start something else, or should I or shouldn't I progress onto something else? Like, where's the growth within this now? So it could also be an energy, not that it's dissatisfaction as such, but it could be that it becomes a bit stagnant, or you're beginning to feel as though you need to kind of move beyond that energy. Anyway, we'll see what comes out in the rest of the reading. You actually have as your first card here, Leo, the Three of Wands, which implies an energy of kind of waiting, not taking any risks. It's in reverse. So it is this kind of pulling back on your energy. It is kind of stopping going forward with something. Whether that's a creative project, whether it's a relationship, whether it's something in your personal life to do with your own growth, maybe, Leo. Because the crossing energy that you have here, because I am doing the Celtic cross, the crossing energy, your blockage, your challenge at this time is to find some kind of balance when it comes to giving and taking. Like, it feels as though there could be some kind of one-sidedness happening here as well. You may be feeling that you've put in a lot of the time and the energy and the effort, and now you're kind of pulling back on your energy. Because the Six of Pentacles for me implies not only give and take and like reciprocity, but it's also an energy of learning to be a taker if you're a giver, and learning to be a giver if you're a taker. And that's very important, because otherwise it's kind of a very one-sided energy. If you're always coming from a place of giving, then you're not allowing the other people to be givers, and so you're kind of blocking their energy as well. So if you're unable to accept what's offered to you, then you need to learn how to do that. And also, if you're somebody who takes more than you give into a situation, then again it's out of balance. You need to learn how to give back, is how I see the Six of Pentacles. So that is the challenge for you at this time, is I feel to kind of like balance this energy up. Take a deeper look at whether you are one of these people who, like, even when it comes to receiving compliments or giving compliments or that kind of thing, it's energetic energy. What's in your head and what you're aware of at this time with the Knight of Cups here, I feel, is you wanting to put your heart and your soul into something, but at the same time, with this energy of not wanting to take a risk and not wanting to, and not really knowing if it's going to work out, if it will be fair and balanced. Again, I feel that that's another reason why you could be holding back on this. But in your head, you're looking for something, or you are aware that this could bring you a sense of emotional fulfillment, happiness. So you could be the one who's doing the offering and it's not being received, or you could be the one who's being offered something and maybe you're not sure at this time whether or not to accept it. Again, it's a general read, so it could be about relationship, it could be about a work situation, like I said, a new project, it could be family, it could be friends. But the energy that you have moving away from you here is the Five of Pentacles, which is talking about, the Five of Pentacles is about leaving something I wouldn't say, it's not, yeah, leaving something behind, but there's more to it than that. It's not like the Eight of Cups, leaving something behind. This is more about something that was sustaining and fulfilling. And it's upright, so it may just be that that you are moving on, or you're having to move on from something, because the Five of Pentacles can imply a situation of where you are feeling like left out in the cold, that you're not part of something anymore, something that was dear to you, something that meant a lot to you, but at the same time it could also be something that's actually stopping you from moving forward with anything else, holding you back, limiting you, which could also be this Three of Wands energy as well. And possibly even this Six of Pentacles crossing it here. And it could be to do with money. It's to do with the physical realm. It's to do with something that's very kind of real. It's based in the real, in the solidness, the here and now. But underneath, in the subconscious realm here, Leo, you have the Death card, which, as I was saying, has come out twice in this reading. That's interesting. Okay, so yeah, I feel as though this is something, because it's in your subconscious, you may not even be aware that this is what's happening at this time, but there is something, because I see this sun here as going down. It's like something is ending. There's like an end of a day, like the end of something. I mean, it's symbolically the end of a day, the end of something that was possibly very meaningful to you, but you've had to move on from it, or you're in the process of moving on from it. But I feel as though you're at this point where you're not quite sure, because the Three of Wands is about patience, waiting, like a stopgap in a way. Not take, as I was saying, yeah, not taking risks, not knowing what the next step is even. But there is this big transformation that is occurring, like underneath it. It's like like a running, it feels like something that's running underneath all of what's happening in your life at this time, and you may not be aware of it. Is this big transformational change that is taking place. For some of you, pardon me, sorry, it could even be like becoming aware of the kind of the changing of the seasons, that you yourself are kind of changing and maybe growing older or maturing or leaving a particular part of your life behind you. You're no longer the same person you were. You're no longer as carefree maybe, or like death comes in many different forms. Change happens to us all the time. We just don't kind of recognize it and see it as such. But even kind of going from being single to being in a partnership is a kind of death, and then like, because it's the death of our single life. And we can no longer behave in the same way as we would have done previously had we just been on our own. It's that kind of thing. It's like there's a running kind of energy, I feel, underneath this, all of this, which is the root cause of this, is this change, this transformation that is taking place on a deeper level with you. And we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse as the energy that is moving in. There is a lot of kind of pentacle earth energy in this reading. But over the top of the 9, we have the 10 of Wands as well. So the Nine of Pentacles in reverse is saying to me that at this time you're not feeling particularly, or you won't be, because this is energy that's moving in. So this could also have something to do with this backwards and forwards energy. This is to do with self-worth. This is to do with recognizing your own value, of how far you have got yourself. And you may have had help along the way, but ultimately it's all been down to you. But with the 10 of Wands here as well, it's saying that there's still a lot of baggage that you're carrying here. Each one of these wands kinds of implies a situation that has become like a rod for you to carry in a way. And so it's heavy, it's weighing heavily on you. Or it will be in the future as you move forward. But I do feel as though it is also part of this change that is occurring here. Maybe even recognizing it, maybe coming to terms with the fact that you've still got all this baggage and that it's actually not helping your self-esteem and your self-worth here, Leo. It's actually burdening you, holding you down. It could also have something to do with this 10 of Pentacles as well. Because although it may seem like a lot of success, possibly again financial, possibly, but it just feels that there could be this that it becomes more of a burden than a sense of enjoyment. You have the Ace of Cups in the energy that you're in at this time, followed by the Two of Wands, which again I feel is this backwards and forwards energy. The Ace of Cups is implying in reverse that there is a feeling of, and I feel that that's also to do with this Nine of Pentacles as well. Your self-esteem isn't particularly good at this time, Leo, or it's not going to be as you move forward. With this Ace of Cups, it's almost like giving up on something, giving up on your own happiness, because this is unconditional love as well. This is about loving yourself, and not just, because this cup is also in this Knight's hand here, which is in your head and what you are aware of. It's the same cup that he's carrying, but either you are offering or somebody is offering to you here. But when it's in reverse, with the Two of Wands as well, I feel this is where that should I or shouldn't I energy is coming in as well, because it's also followed by the Two of Swords. So you've got the Ace of Cups in between, like this decision, but also this Two of Wands energy of kind of taking something forward. Like it's a creative, driving, very, again, your kind of energy, Leo. Fiery, passionate, dynamic, action, doing, putting your passion and drive into something, to build on something, to make something more than what it is now. But I just feel as though you're kind of in two minds, is how it's coming through. Because you also have the King of Swords here as well. So it's almost saying to me that you are kind of turning your back on this cup at this time. To focus more, it feels on, to focus more on your, sorry, to focus more on your, I wouldn't say, it's not focusing on your happiness. But there's a sense of focusing on your own needs here. King of Swords, when he's upright, is very direct. He knows what he wants. He communicates well. But I'm getting this kind of image of somebody who's kind of, he's also, when he's upright, he's very fair about things as well. He likes to have this sense of balance and honesty and truth. But he can also be very, what's the word, like a bit of a mystery, like closed off, doesn't necessarily give away a lot of what he's feeling. And I feel as though you're kind of moving into that stage, Leo, with this upside down cup here as well, that if there is something that you want to put your passion and your drive and your love into, you're not really communicating it. It doesn't feel, it feels as though you're kind of putting that in the background somehow, putting it behind you. It's like you know that it's there, but you're not going to put your focus and your attention into this at this time. Almost like you're turning away from it. Because we have the Seven of Swords here and the Queen of Wands, which is very much your energy as well, Leo. And the Seven depicts a situation. It can be deceit, but it can also be a situation of having to keep things close to your chest at this time. Like, again, it feels like this is kind of hiding behind this energy here. So outwardly, you may be showing this kind of side of yourself that's very fired up, ready to go. But there's something, it's almost like something that you're not revealing, something that you're keeping to yourself here. Or it could be somebody who you know in your life, Leo, who is like this. They're very fiery, they're very passionate, you're maybe very drawn to this energy. But if there is something that they're not telling you. Is how it's kind of coming through. And this is your environment at this time as well. But it feels, again, it feels similar. There's a lot of fire energy on the table. There's a lot of Leo energy. But a lot of it feels as though it's kind of being like held back, or it just feels like it's kind of going into your head space, Leo, rather than coming directly from this place of your heart and your open. See, because of the Seven of Swords here, it feels as though it's not completely open, that you are kind of keeping something maybe in reserve, almost like a trick up your sleeve possibly, Leo. Is how it's coming through. But you're not, it feels as though you're not completely expressing how you really feel about something at this time. Even though there is a decision, I feel, with this Two of Swords here and this Two of Wands. Almost like logical. Do I go with my logic, or do I stick with, or do I go with my heart and my passion, my drive? So again, this could be this backwards and forwards, this to and fro. Venus is also in Cancer at this time as well, so it could be that emotionally there is a feeling of like hiding things, keeping things hidden on an emotional level. So your hopes and your fears is actually the King of Wands as well. So again, and it's in reverse. So a lot of Leo energy, fire energy, Aries, Sagittarius energy, and all of those three are ruled by, like, I mean, Leo's ruled by the sun, so it's very dynamic, out there energy. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is a very big, benevolent, magnifying energy. And Aries is ruled by Mars, so all of those fire energies are very much doing, action orientated. And you have a lot of this in your reading today, a lot of almost like wanting to, really wanting to put your, like I was saying earlier, your heart and soul into something, but then deciding possibly at this time not to, that it isn't the right time. But because the King of Wands, when he's in reverse, is not in a place of strength. He's coming from a place of yeah, just like non-action, not doing, not. But it's in your hopes and your fears. So there's a part of you that really wants to be more in tune with yourself here, Leo. And maybe also you're feeling with, like with this situation here, that you can't completely be honest, which is something the fire signs tend to have in common. They are very honest. They are very, like, say it as they mean it. They don't like to hide things. But it just feels that at this time there's a situation here where you feel as though you're having to keep something to yourself. And then the last card that we have here is the Queen of Pentacles, which is an energy of, it's the earth energy, a nurturing, very productive homemaker energy, somebody who's very grounded, and I'm getting the word sensible as well here, somebody who's very sensible. So there may also be this side of yourself at this time, they're both upright, there may be these two possibly different sides of your own personality. That feels like there's this one who may be wanting to push ahead, to kind of act, do, make something happen, whereas this energy here is kind of saying slow down, take your time, kind of be sensible. And whether or not this is like two aspects of your own personality here, Leo, or whether it's people in your life encouraging this, but there is this sense of like, slow down, think it through. Is this the right thing for you to do? Are you coming from a place of honesty? Because it doesn't particularly feel like you think you are at this time with this King of Wands in reverse. It's like, is it right for you? Does it sit right with you? Does it make you feel good? Or are you deceiving yourself? Are you not being honest to who you are as well? But it feels, because it's in the upright position as well, it feels more like I was saying, like a trick up your sleeve, like something that you're going to pull out at some point. But you're very kind of closed about it at this time. So let's see what else comes out for us here, Leo. Some confirmation cards for Leo. Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and cusp energy of Leo. And we have the Son of Wands. So again, more fire energy. Again, Aries, Sagittarius, and your own energy here. So what I'm getting from the Son of Wands is like mixed messages. With this Three of Wands here and this Six of Pentacles, the Son of Wands over the top of that, it's kind of coming through in a sense of something that is confusing you. This is the Page of Wands, the Page of Fire. So it's a young energy. But it feels also kind of quite mischievous, playful, but at the same time maybe not completely trustworthy. And maybe that's also why you're holding back here. This may be the face that you're showing to the world at this time as well, Leo. Again, because of this energy here, which is in your environment at this time. So you may be portraying this kind of almost Joker kind of character, where everything's really light, easygoing, but with this, if you see the shape on his back, it kind of feels like there's something that is, again, almost kind of deceptive about this energy, is how it's coming through. So this could be your energy again, Leo. It could be somebody else. Yeah, it just feels like a Joker energy. It could be that you maybe feel that somebody is literally kind of taking the piss. And kind of making you feel like they believe that you are some kind of fool or idiot. Or it could be you putting on this persona of this character that is kind of deceiving, almost like a, what's the word, distraction. Almost like, you know, this is who you think I am, this is who you see me as, but actually this isn't who I am. But while you see me like this, I will carry on kind of creating that character, that role, play that role for you, is how that's coming through for me. Again, it could just be a situation that you feel maybe you can't completely get a grasp on as well. Something that kind of feels like it's one thing and then it kind of transforms into something else or becomes something else and isn't, like it keeps changing, is also what I'm kind of feeling. Okay. So we have the Seven of Wands. We have the Ace of Cups again in reverse over the top of your Knight of Cups energy here. We have the Ace of Wands, which is upright. And we have the Priestess of Discs. So again, that's the Queen of Pentacles energy. Seven of Wands can imply struggle. It can imply that there's not seeing eye to eye in a situation where things aren't coming together for you. Maybe you're having to stand up for yourself. Maybe you're having to justify why you want to do what you want to do. And maybe you're just justifying it to yourself. And maybe that's also part of the backwards and forwards energy as well. Because I feel as though this is about you wanting to put your heart and soul, as I was saying, you want to kind of offer yourself into this situation. But you're feeling the need to hold back here, Leo. You're feeling the need to wait. So yeah, kind of a lot of sense of like possibly even maybe not outwardly so much as inwardly, all these different people are kind of you, different aspects of yourself, again kind of arguing with you, disagreeing with yourself. Like lots of noise, lots of like, you know, well I could do it this way, and then like something comes up that kind of disagrees with that, a part of you disagrees with that, you think that you've got the answer to move forward with something, and then again something else comes up to block that. So it just feels like a lot of kind of noise, a lot of kind of like too much noise possibly around you. It could also be people, there could be family, friends, a relationship where you're not seeing eye to eye, but lots of kind of disagreements, lots of people with different opinions and ideas as to how something should happen or not happen. It also feels as well that as if it is each individual person, it's like you're trying to kind of keep all of them happy. You're trying to kind of satisfy all of them. even possibly different aspects of yourself as well. Again, like these different, all these different ideas of but there's a kind of sense of something with the Ace of Cups in reverse as well, the cup that you're holding in your hand there, or is being offered to you, Leo. As I was saying down here with this Ace of Cups as well, it feels as though you're kind of turning your back on that. And as you do so, you have the Ace of Wands, so it's kind of like bringing in this new, this fresh energy, this kind of, as you come out from this death energy, there is this rebirth, literally like you coming out of this egg here. It's, yeah, it's like, again, more fire, more Leo energy, more kind of becoming you, finding your energetic it just looks like this energetic explosion into the world. No longer kind of holding back on yourself here. Because we have the Priestess of Discs after this as well, which again is that Queen of Pentacles energy. Which is coming through as this like new birth for yourself, like this new coming out of this egg, this new birth, and kind of nurturing and looking after your own needs here. Putting yourself first, maybe, Leo. But it also feels with this Ace of Wands that it's something spontaneous. It's something that you do it spontaneously. It's like just all of a sudden it changes from this energy of like all this noise, all this arguing, all this kind of like disagreeing with yourself, disagreeing with others, 100 different reasons why you should or shouldn't, and not feeling happy about any of it. Again, kind of turning your back. And as you do so, it's like this spontaneous, something spontaneous within you kind of erupts. Or it does feel very similar, like this transformation, as I was talking about, this deep change is going to, this is what's in your head and what you're aware of. It almost feels like, you know, searching for love in all the wrong places in some way, and then kind of realizing that it's actually you that needs to be at the heart of your life, at the center of your life. And then almost like everything else will fall into place. Once you start looking after you and enjoying your life, it could even have something to do, again, like as I was saying, with this Queen of Pentacles, this kind of sensible energy. I don't know why that's coming through. Practical. practical, sensible, down to earth. Like wanting to bring something into the reality, into the real world. So, past energy is the Shaman of Discs, which is the King of Pentacles as well. So it does feel, it's almost like, because I was saying that the Five of Pentacles is about being left out in the cold. So for me, this is you kind of moving forward. Like leaving something behind, something that was meaningful to you. But you took a new path, or you have taken a new path. It's how it's in that you took this new path. Again with this Queen as well, it's almost like you kind of shifted your energy somehow, or this has shifted your energy, this underlying transformational change that has been taking place in your life that you may not have been aware of, has taken you down this new avenue. Okay, so I asked what this Shaman of Discs was about, and I got the Four of Swords in reverse, which is a healing energy. It's an energy, again, it's in reverse, so it feels as though almost like you were forced into this situation of taking care of yourself, or you are going to be forced into this situation of taking care of yourself, that you're not particularly how can I put it, almost like, you know, the body will do what the body will do. There's just this sense of like, you know, it will be okay, it will, I don't need to take care of myself, I don't need to look after myself, I don't need that space or that time to heal. When you actually really do, Leo, you really have needed that space and time, and I feel that that's possibly why you took this journey away, left something in the past, walked away from something, moved away from something, something that, as I was saying, does have a lot of, or did have a lot of meaning to you on some level. But you've also got the Five of Swords in reverse as well, with this wasp at the very centre, which is interesting because I'm wearing a bee necklace thing today. I don't know if you can see the bee there, but there is a bee. But anyway, bees are not the same as wasps, but It feels like you felt that you got stung. You kind of got very badly stung. Whatever this was about, you having to leave this, you were stung. It really kind of rocked you to the core as to how this person could do that, or this situation, or like after you'd, you know, put your heart and soul into it, that something then turned around and stung you, is how it's coming through. The Four of Swords and the Five of Swords together. It could also imply the fact that because you weren't willing to heal from this situation, and maybe you tried to move on too fast from something, leave something behind too quickly, you didn't give yourself enough space to come to terms with something. And for some of you, it could have meant like mentally, it kind of really drained you, but it also kind of affected you on a physical level as well. Like there's been a lot of kind of distress about the situation. And the other card we got out here was the Daughter of Discs as well. And again, I feel as though this is you kind of moving into that space of looking out for you. Daughter of Discs is the energy of, well, it's the page again, so it's a young energy, a kind of starting out again energy. And it feels to me like because you've gone from the Shaman of Discs, the king here, to the page. So it is almost like you walked away from something where you were feeling more, what's the word? It's difficult to explain. Like you were the grown-up, the adult, that you'd experienced something like you had wisdom, you had experience, you had knowledge, but this situation kind of brought you back to a place of relearning, having to understand something. You had to take time. You had to take the time out, even though I feel as though you didn't want to. But it put you back to this kind of energy of, again, looking after your own needs. Looking into the future and planting for your future in the present energy. So there was growth, even though it kind of might have gone backwards. It's almost like you had to leave all of that behind. You had to kind of literally leave all of that, everything, whatever that meaningful experience had been for you, whatever that connection that you had with that Five of Pentacles energy, which can represent a home that you have to leave and move on from. It can represent people, work experience, but something that that you had a strong connection with. But how it's feeling is like it kind of, like you had to really leave all that in the past and go back to this page energy again. And start afresh. Start afresh, start something, and you just put the cards down and it's on death again, which is interesting because that's 3 times. Maybe 3 times transformation, maybe something that you've been through. Maybe you've had lots of different times in your life, Leo, where you've had like these big massive changes, and each time you come out of these big massive changes, it's like you're back relearning and growing again. And each time it kind of, you get to a certain point and then you go back through these massive kind of death situations, transformational situations that at the time can be painful, not easy to understand or to cope with. But on the other side, they're very kind of transformative, almost like you kind of return to a new you, if that makes any sense. And over the top of the death card here, we have the 2 of Wands. Again, you have the 2 of Wands here as well. But the 2 of Wands here is talking to me about like ancestral memories, like things that are passed down from one generation to the next. And it is literally over this death card as well, so it could have something to do with like I was saying, like these changes that you go through, Leo. Like something to do with conditioning, for like ancestral, like some of it is good, traditional things that are passed on, shall we say, from grandparent to parent, etc., etc., to the children. Some of it is worth knowing, some of it is worth holding on to, some of it is important, and then some of it you no longer need. Some of it is like that's no longer valid in your life, like this day and age. Some of it you need to let go of, which could also be this 10 of Wands energy here, that like carrying a lot of baggage, as I was talking about. So literally this could be you, because this is transformation, this is death, but it could also be you having to decide in a way what it is that you're going to take, what you're going to let go of and what you're going to take with you, what is important. Because here she's teaching her daughter, I presume that's her daughter, but let's just say it's her daughter. She's teaching her daughter how to make fire, which is a very important thing to learn, you know, knowing how to make fire. I mean, these days you can just strike a match or a lighter, or, you know, but ancestrally, had we not learned how to have fire and to make fire, we probably wouldn't be where we are today. So it had a huge importance, and it's something that we still need in our lives. But there are other things that maybe you need to let go of here. Maybe things that aren't quite so valid, but they're still hanging on there. There's still like memories. And it could also be you, Leo, thinking of the good times and what you have got from this experience. Again, it just feels like things that you can take forward with you and things that you need to just let go and release. Especially with this 10 of Pentacles and this 9 as well. Because this is your self-esteem, your self-value. How do you value yourself? What do you value yourself by? Do you just value yourself in monetary terms and the sense of how much you have in your life, as opposed to who you are as a person, as an individual? Which also is bringing me back to this 6 of Pentacles as well, as how much you can give and receive. And not just in monetary terms, but in kind of time and energy and effort. Oh, okay. Right, so we have, again, the 3 of Wands. So it's that kind of running theme, I feel as though it is also, again, because there they are painting things on the wall, which is this sense of like memories. The 3 of Wands in this term is upside down. Sorry, is up the right way, as opposed to the first 3 of Wands, which was upside down, which is almost like you almost like planting yourself down somewhere and saying, I'm not moving until I know the right direction to go in. Or until I see the result that I want to see. And again, this 3 of Wands is saying to me, after the 2 of Wands energy here, that it is time for you to drop the past. It is time for you to unburden yourself here, Leo, because it's only dragging you down. It's not making you feel good. And then when you do drop what you no longer need, you will be able to have a deeper like understanding of your own roots, where you're coming from, what's important to you, what's not important to you. What you do want to create in your life, how you want to create it, who you want to create it with. But first of all, you need to drop the baggage. And the things that actually yeah, like no longer growing. It's like if you look at the death card, those trees are all bare, or if they're not bare, they're kind of falling, or the leaves are falling on the floor. So it's like an autumn or fall time, as you say in America. Anybody who may be watching this, it's almost like those leaves have got to drop. Those leaves have to fall at some point. They're not going to be able to stay on this tree or these trees. And that sun is going to set and things are going to change. She's holding, I've just noticed these roses that she's holding in her hand. She's got one there which is kind of withering. It looks like it's kind of past its best. Whereas the one that she's holding to her chest, to her heart, is a bud. It's like new. It's like coming into form, into life. And it's got this glowing kind of light around it as well. I don't know if you can see that. So it's also kind of saying to me that as like that things grow from the dead as well, in the sense of like, you know, the leaves fall and they feed the new, the old feeds the new. So the old has to be let go of. Like a snake has to shed its skin in order to become more than it was. So what do we have here? We have the Chariot in reverse over the top of the Two of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the King, and the Two, or the Two and the King, because they came out that way. And the Chariot, which for me is implying a sense of nothing is moving. Like with this King as well, I was kind of getting that sense of kind of, and again with this, as I was saying, with this three, almost like just plonking yourself down and saying, right, I'm not moving, I'm going to just sit here and wait. Maybe not just for things to change, but I'm going to wait until I get the result that I want, is kind of what's coming through. But at the same time, there's all this backwards and forwards. And not being able to make a decision. But there is also this King energy, I feel, is this kind of very, like, almost like statue, almost like a sense of, I don't care how long it's going to take. I am going to maybe get to the bottom of something here as well. I'm going to find out the truth. But the Chariot could also be in reverse because you haven't made a decision, you're not making a decision, you're very much, as I was saying, kind of just staying in that energy. which is possibly why this 10, like, you have to let go of this past, all of this stuff, this baggage. It keeps coming back to this 10 of Wands in a way. And also just this as well, like looking at the 10 of Pentacles here with the stones. It's like, you know, that's a lot to carry, is how it's kind of coming through. There's a lot to carry. Even like being driven by this sense of having to achieve and get to a certain point in your life. It's like a lot to carry. Also, like, you know, are you carrying it for you? Are you doing it for you? Are you doing it for like people from the past that have kind of put that idea into your head? Almost, Leo, like you're asking yourself, interesting. The Death card just fell on the Death card, which isn't where I was going to put it, but it just kind of gravitated over there. So 3 times. So this could be a situation literally where it's something has kind of transformed that many times. It's almost like it's come together, not happened, come together, like something that has kind of kept on going through this death process, transforming, rebirthing, dying again kind of thing. It also feels as though at the same time it is changing. It is changing you on a deeper level. And it's changing the situation, whatever the situation is here as well, Leo. Because, as I was saying, this kind of feels as though it's kind of tucked away behind your energy here. And the Death card is in reverse as well. And it does feel, for some reason, it just keeps coming out to me as like a trick up your sleeve, Leo. Like you are shedding this skin, as I was literally just saying earlier, like this snake that outgrows the skin, that has to kind of move out of that skin. It almost feels to me that this was also a sense of that as well. This 5 of Pentacles energy. That it was of value, but at the same time it was kind of, you had to move out of it or away from it or beyond it. And again, the sense with this Death card in reverse here as well, that it's something, it's a painful situation. It's something that isn't, because there's a skeleton in the middle of that as well. It almost feels as though it completely strips you. Strips everything away from you, like not like the Tower, not in the same way as the Tower, but it's almost like you feel completely like you have I'm going to put it like just open to all the elements. For some of you, it could also be health issues here as well. like you're not the person that you were before. That's what's kind of coming through, this sense of just like feeling totally stripped to the bone. This is in your environment at this moment, at this time. So this is how you could be feeling, Leo, is that you are completely kind of stripped to the bone. Also with this King of Wands in reverse here as well, that you don't have that fire and that passion and that drive. And maybe you're hoping to get that back. Could also be that there's somebody who, or situation that has kind of put you in this, like feeling stripped to the bone, like they really, this situation or a person that really kind of took everything from you, as though there was nothing there anymore. And so there could also, with this Seven of Swords, be an energy of not knowing whether you can trust, who you can trust, whether somebody is being deceitful with you. In general, not just with a singular person, but the people that you kind of attract into your life as well. Why are they coming into your life? Why are you attracting them towards you? What is it they want from you? Can also be an energy of that here as well. And we have again the King of Swords. So again, twice the energy has come out for you here, Leo. And both times the King of Swords is upright as well. So it feels as though you're feeling stronger in this place of being the King of Swords than you are at this time of being in your own energy of just trusting, being honest. There's a sense here of discernment, of real discernment, of really having to kind of question your actions as well as other people's actions here as well, Leo. A kind of sense of like realizing on some level that your actions are also a part of all of this, that it's not just other people in your life that are causing this, that this is also down to what you yourself do and don't do. And it is in your hopes and your fears. And it kind of feels again like this sense of two separate energies. Like I was getting with this queen, this two queens. It's like now you've got these two kings as well. Or these two kings. Who are like I was saying, this queen is kind of more easygoing, spontaneous, wants to act, whereas this one is much more your sensible, slower action. It kind of feels the same with this, with these kings here as well, almost like the King of Swords is overriding you and your own essential energy. Almost like you kind of feel maybe that you've been forced into this King of Swords energy. That you thought maybe things were going one way and then they turn out to be something else, completely different. There's also this is your hopes and your fears as well. Sorry, if you look, his mouth is open and he's got this kind of blue beam here. Don't know exactly what you'd call it. Like something that is coming out of his mouth, and blue is all about the throat chakra. It's all about open communication, saying what you're thinking. And kind of what I'm getting here in general is a sense that you're not actually saying what you're thinking. You're not actually how can I put it? Like there's a disconnection between what you want to say and do and what you're actually saying and doing. Are very different energies. There's like a completely two very different energies here. Like this is much more almost like harsh. It can also be like blocking energy or ghosting energy, but I don't feel that so much as more kind of discerning energy, but it's also an energy of not being open, just not being as kind of open as you normally would be, Leo. Like closing down. But that is in your hopes and your fears. So maybe you fear that this situation is going to bring that aspect out in you. Maybe you fear that if you say how you're really feeling, like the real truth behind something, that you won't get the result that you're hoping for, looking for, wanting for, waiting for. And maybe that's also what that Seven of Swords is about as well, kind of that almost deceptive, almost kind of, it just, again, it just feels like a trick up your sleeve, that you're going to pull something out from behind your back that's going to kind of solve the problem. And I'm not saying that that's exactly what's going to happen, but it's kind of you're almost like working on that in a way somehow. And we have over the top of the Queen of Pentacles energy, we have the Crone, which is almost the also Mercury retrograde, also the Hermit energy. Okay, just taking a quick look. What I'm seeing more than anything else is this figure here, and it's almost like he's doing that. It's like, if you look, he's on a crossroads, but it's got like 3 different paths. So it's almost like 2 is difficult enough, but kind of give me 3, and it's just like, I have no idea. So it could be that there are 3 choices that you have here, is what's coming through. It is Hermit energy. But that's not really what's coming across here so much as just like, almost like you've realised that there is more options open to you here than you at first thought. With the Hermit, it talks about going within, in the sense of looking for deeper answers to something, which could also be this energy here of slowing down, of not rushing into anything, like I feel this Queen wants to do here. It just feels like it also looks as though he's literally scratching his head there as well. It literally feels to me as though there's more questions than answers with this Hermit energy. It's like you're looking for answers, you're seeking answers, Leo, but you're just finding more questions. And the more you find, the more you're just kind of like, now I really don't know what to do. Now I'm really stuck. Like I was saying, if I thought that it was hard enough with these 2 options and decisions to make, now there's another potential. Now there's another problem to solve, or something to work through, work out. But over the top there is this kind of star energy as well, and this kind of almost like saying that the path will open up for you if you give it time, if you don't rush in, if you give yourself time to work things through in your own head. Then something will open up, like the path will show itself, is how it's coming through. The path will show itself, it will open up to you, it will become obvious to you as to which way is the right way for you to go. So again, there's this backwards and forwards, this to and fro, this kind of crossroads. But there's also another option. It feels as though there's also something else that is going to open up in front of you that maybe you weren't expecting, Leo. Maybe it was something that had completely kind of, maybe that is this trick up your sleeve, perhaps. I don't know. Be interesting to find out. And if you want to, you can leave a comment in the comment box down below to let me know, because it would be quite nice to know if it makes any sense, Leo. So I'm going to pull you a Keepers of the Light Oracle. Oh, I didn't put my boxes up there today. See, I was in a bit of a rush. Maybe that's got something to do with your energy here, Leo. Keepers of the Light for Leo, please. Source energy, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp energy. And before I forget, Leo, the cusp energy means that you're going to be zero end of your sign moving out of the Cancer energy. And if you're the other end, you're going to be 29 degrees moving towards the Virgo energy. So you may want to check out the sign previous to yours, the Cancer reading. You also may want to check out the Virgo reading when I put that one up as well. Also, there is a playlist on my channel for anybody who's interested. I do all of the sun signs. I also do the full moon and the new moon, and I do my own intuitive interpretation of the astrology as well as a tarot interpretation of the energy. White Eagle, Ancestor Spirit. That's wacky. Ancestor Spirit, fantastic. Came out in reverse, so it's literally saying connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. So anyway, as I was saying, in reverse, it means that the message is very important and it needs to be taken more notice of than if it was up the right way. So let's see what White Eagle is wanting to say to you, Leo. Very last one in the book. And he's saying, White Eagle is a Native American shaman who is dedicated to honouring our spiritual heritage. I'm just going to hold up the Two of Wands here as well, because that's what I was picking up on earlier. He is a world-renowned spiritual guide who has been particularly cherished by mediums all over the world. He first spoke through a medium called Grace Cook in the early 20th century. He is the guide who helps create clear channel in our bloodline and our spiritual lineage, so we can access the heart of the Creator. He also helps us move into sacred ceremony, where we can hold sacred space to honour a change, transition, celebration, or anything else that deserves time. Transitional energy. So take some time to honour just how far you have come, which was also what I was saying about this Nine of Pentacles as well, of looking not backwards but kind of looking at your own, that you are the one that's got you to where you are today. Recognizing through ceremony and ritual the shifts in your awareness, healing and journey really allows you to move into a state of grace and gratitude. You have or have recently had an opportunity to heal an old family wound or pattern. It's important to connect with your family in spirit so that you can set a new energy of love in place. White Eagle is bringing your ancestors through to you and allowing you to know that they are happy and well. He is sounding his sacred drums to clear your spirit. So that's a fantastic energy. And you can buy books. There are books of White Eagle's guidance and words of wisdom. He has been around a long time. on the spiritual scene, shall we say. I know my mum told me about White Eagle many, many, many years back. So let's see what the Angels of Light card would also like to say to you. We're going to go for that one. And it's saying vulnerability. Only the brave and open-hearted dare to allow themselves to be vulnerable, for it requires courage to take down all walls and expose your humanness. Your angel guidance is to become aware of your defense mechanisms which keep you separate from others and the divine. Ask your angels to help you dissolve your masks and barriers so that your fragile, true self can emerge like a butterfly from its cocoon. The reward is freedom, love, and a sense of inner safety. So dare to be vulnerable and open. And the affirmation here is, vulnerability is my strength. So I'm going to leave the reading there, Leo. It has been quite a long reading, and just say I hope that you have found something of interest from it. I hope that it has benefited you in some way, and thank you very much for staying with me, those of you who have and are still listening. I really do appreciate you being here, and also thank you very much for those of you who have liked up my videos. If you haven't, please could you thumbs them up, because it really helps to get them out into that bigger, broader YouTube world where people can get to see them, and the more likes you get on a video, the more likely they are to get recommended to other people and their channels as well. So people are more likely to want to actually kind of have a look because it's a recommended, and more likely to come back to the actual channel and have a look at the channel and maybe, you know, watch some videos. So I'm kind of rambling now, Mercury retrograde. So again, subscribing, hopefully, because that is my kind of aim, is to get people to subscribe to my channel so I can give them these messages and hopefully help them out in some way if they're in difficult energy themselves at this time. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you have already subscribed, again, thank you very much. I really do appreciate you being here. If you want to share my videos, please feel free to do so. Also, if you want to comment and let me know whether or not this resonates for you, that would be wonderful too. And if you tap that bell, you will get the option to know as and when I'm putting the videos out. Like I said, I do all the sun signs, etc. So again, thank you very much, Leo. Again, I hope that it has been of some help, and please take really good care of yourself and anybody else who you can at this time, and hopefully see you again soon.